OKFM 101.7.
Okay. Na mamemra asem bia mehu ahode ababa betudwa se enne school for ebie eye basic for no wo mu bie na complaints bi a wanya ba ko eye se attendance register so kra no enya meduru school ho afa twoko besi abade ayi yewra emisata yire no anti Matilda ekoka se mema twoko de mema twoko china no twoko no bi kura so nkoi eno no ayasam lesson notebooks eno say acute shortage eno uba Newton han ko mbe print bebreu afi markers any textbooks any what government capitation as follows 2019-2020 tranches no enkoi we mami tie wankasa
yo kwa medase and public basic schools will be for second term. Na omo be you know. Nyoma bi wo hwa e wo se nka. Ye dia atutu kwan mu. Se ebe ya adesua no. Ebe koso totin. Sa nyoma no dodo na yemfa ntu kwan mu. Enti ebe me se week atwa mu. Me WhatsApp, me text messages, calls Aminya from across the country, from head teachers. Mobile mania. Say the echo suddenly. Kwame Kalinonka or Mohammed Mini Akasama Moho. But Nancy said the echo no. One Shanaso could be one no, I can't be pet. Say, Wunya Chok. Wunya markers, wunya lesson notebooks, wunya student attendance register, and textbooks 3 years into commencement of new curriculum and a capitation grant and see a duka. Kwame, you went there, Dumotua, transfer Abemauno.
But honorable, honorable, there is this my coinage of the word national hypocrisy. Na say na mechire mu obi ohokura ayiye e na aba ayiye no wonim se na koma mu pa ayiye nko wonko man ko enkrofo bekenti obekọ oh talk no woni bi en wote ho obebie na no aka kirem say me talk no me bi for that ayi no cloak of national hypocrisy no onye onimu pa say ade a wo yenye but omie na no nka na there is this saying was say when they came for the Jews, I did not utter a word because I wasn't a Jew. Where they may paraphrase it. When they came for the Nazis, I did not utter a word because I wasn't a Nazi. And when they came for me, there was nobody to defend.
Kwame, asama wakai, meno ya dream pa. National hypocrisy. Ghana for ya chum. Yeah, penny. And what is even more disappointing, and it's a moral civil society and even labor unions, non-governmental actors, was a umutuminya kukudro to speak the truth. Kwame, meaning the echoes. Sometimes I've also thought about this and I feel that it looks as though the Akufo-Addo-Bawumia-led NPP government has hypnotized all of these voices which hitherto supreme etofoma na entobi de was etwa na omaka
mame ma wade Ghana pa ye free senior high very good ba basic na eye foundation no ko hwe dan yan kwala tetim chess ni wo
that's how we
textbooks ni wo
come mama mi o
wo de ka
Kwame, if I'm a power no, you know what is going on, and I listen to you earlier.
What can you do attempts is here?
These are the issues, and the truth is that Nipano Dudwana, especially players in the educational sector, in the public sector, one of the reasons why they cannot speak is not just because of their Wudikanka and that's hypocrisy. No, that one, I think we should attribute it to the moral society, civil society, and unions, you know.
Mm-hmm.
But in terms of the players, they cannot speak because of the culture of silence. And you cannot run a society like that.
It
breaks my heart.
Ayi honorable, obintimi bold say adie we meka even if it will cost my job.
Kwame, ebiaka, the baby omo akoda no. And the fact that omo wasa nkomo ka bi ema omo no. Enka bintino. It goes to what we said earlier. When they came for the Jews. And they came for me. That is exactly what is happening in this country as we speak. So all of these issues are media to journal. And yamiana me peo. Woman to me in country and on my culture and say, what they just and yana one of the committee can say we didn't come up. You know why you're what a BMI. And you were right. How do you purport to build a good educational system? Science, STEM universities, model schools, and then as for when the foundation, basic education, is as weak and endangered as it is, how do you build a superstructure on a non-existent foundation?
Abanye, young public basic schools, you know. Yani ankasa asoman, are we interested in it?
Well, obviously, if you ask me, I think that we have gotten it wrong. I have advocated that it is time for us to look at a national dialogue, to take another look at Ghana's education and where we want to go. Kwame, then you have to quite pain. Maybe I make then you have to now make it. Then you have to quite we know what goes on in other parts of the world. Countries now share as best practices, you know. When you go there, the biggest investment in terms of resources, financial resources, human resources, the quality of persons recruited to teach is at the basic level.
Yes, because
when you get the basic level right, the rest will follow. We are doing the opposite.
Honorable, when you say member of the governing council, education, California, and our schools, and after was our woman because a charter no nature say aban schools na what any day no aban be manu teachers obetua wo moka a make sure say private school no so your public school no obenya the same thing ho.
But what I'm arguing is that he needs to apply the U.S. model to within the context of the basic school system. And that is not happening. Look, let me tell you the truth. Since 2017, funding for basic education has dwindled. Funding for tertiary education has not appreciated much. Funding for secondary education has gone up. In the past 5 years, 7.62 billion invested in the free high school policy. Even there, no, the issues are as many. I'm sure you have read. Buffer stock food suppliers, Abandi Omoka, ABC 500 million, ABC 800 million. So there is something fundamentally wrong with the way we are running our education in this country. But the point to be made is that if we are going to get it right, we must prioritize basic education. If we get it right, secondary and tertiary should not be a problem. But the way it is now, no, it is widening the gap between the rich and the poor, between the haves and the have-nots, and that is why the private basic schools are doing comparatively better compared to the public basic schools. These are the reasons. Because only chalk, only markers, only register, you entry a capitation grant. And the market and kitchen was a window be able now I fix it. Say I was organizing mock exam, cultural activities, sports. Being a capitation grant here and quiet many tranches are old. It is essential, the teachers have to buy some of these supplies, and the headmasters have to buy some of these supplies. Do one na omoko free supplies. The baby omoko free, So how do you expect effective teaching and learning to go on in our basic school system when the basic tools we have not made them available? As for textbooks, dear, where in the world, Kwame, will you introduce a new curriculum called standard-based curriculum, and yet you don't have the requisite books for teachers and the students based on that new standard-based curriculum? So what is standard about the standard-based curriculum without the matching books 3 years into the introduction of a new curriculum? It's just not right.
Opani, yenya komo yi wa ha, echi yebesa ba wo ba to ha de ebre me. Se takwade na wo.
Me otadi.
Anti wo ba be fa keko so ya owa yi no. Ya mransa junction omo dokunu ye fine pa.
Yo but when answer me kono. These are some of the issues we expect men of God to speak about. The real issues that affect the masses of this country, the future of this nation, our educational system, the shortcomings, the challenges, the way forward. These are the issues that men of God should be talking about, not worrying themselves about an incoming flag bearer of an opposition party proposing to scrap an obnoxious and unjustified levy that is even burdening already suffering Ghanaians. Look, one of the qualities of a man of God, because I asked the question, and I'll ask you, Kwame, help me. What is the definition of a man of God?
A man of God.
What is the definition of a man of God? What are the attributes of a man of God?
But I want to way. Obi abusa me question bi say. Obi ye nyame nipa awade afre no. O minimum nsem a border on security, education, politics no. Oni hu kwan say we express any opinion. For be a man of God on kwa there he's cut off from those pronouncements ne adwea opinions obekere.
You see, and that is why it is important that we look for the definition of a man of God. Because you see, one of the qualities, and I've taken time to read, I've read about what it means to be a man of God. It's not just knowing the scripture based on your dogma or your religion and then trying to win souls. It is not just about being smart in your communication and knowing when to speak and what to say. It is also about integrity. Integrity. And a man of God must have integrity. And integrity requires you to be honest and straightforward and candid. Integrity requires you to speak truth to power. Integrity requires you.
Where did he err? Or can ya name from Sword Shepherd?
And you see, the reason why a lot of us have a problem with this particular bishop, I believe Yensu, is because this is not the first time. Go and check. This is the same bishop who, even after the global rankings on corruption, and Ghana had scored low with all the allegations of corruption. He said that no one can accuse the current president and his government of any act of corruption. He said it, that we should show him the evidence. This is the same man of God who claimed that John Mama had planned to cancel the free senior school policy. So when I ask, what is the true definition of a man of God? We don't believe that this is a man of God. He is a politician, Kasok. Because if you look at the definition of a man of God, and you look at one of the critical attributes or factors, which is integrity, his record does not show that he has integrity.
Does this stem out of the fact that Niamani Bebria Okano mostly ya na akoye se etia NDC amanyuku?
But you can and that is why I'm talking about integrity. If you have integrity, you don't embellish. You don't say things that are not true when you know them not to be true.
Okay, Yenjay, one of the things that Okanya Enyo Krenwa yen situating pan
Did Mama ever say that he was going to cancel free senior high school?
Okay, so be review.
Exactly, it does review mean cancel. But this bishop said so. In the run-up to the 2020 election, he said it.
Mm-hmm.
So why will you say something that somebody hasn't said? It's just like recently, me I'm in your penny and my senior at the university. Yeah, but me and someone. I said, when they got the money could do upon Kruman, say, John Mama said he will repeal the communications service tax. Where? Well, when we pushed him, now he said, "Oh, but it wasn't John Mama."
But it has been bandied around. His Excellency John Dramani Mahama is on record to have said, "Oba will become minimum."
So we asked them to provide the evidence. Have they been able to provide it? Is that not why Yabwabi and someone had to eat a humble pie? Kwame, I can tell you there is no record in the form of audio, in the form of video, in the form of print, anywhere in this world. Never been true. And that is why we need to elevate our politics. We should stop the lies. It is not going to help us. Let's be honest and sincere and debate the issues. We have every reason, and your mama has every reason, the support of his party, the support of his parliamentary caucus, the support of Ghanaians who have rejected this e-levy which has been forced down our throats. And when he comes by the grace of God, as he has said, he will repeal it. And that is a promise.
Repeal it, you know, yes, saying.
Now, sir, maybe a parliament nation. And so when you say the parliament nation, it is mostly the executive. And what to me, the bills ever. Particularly bills that have to do with revenue mobilization or taxation, as well as any bill that will require expenditure from the public purse. It is only the executive. And I'm saying that you are not fine for private members' bills. But even the private members' bills, you know, there are limitations. So when a president or a candidate says, when I come, I'll repeal a law or an act, what that candidate is telling you is that I will get a parliamentary majority and I will be president and I will bring to parliament. I'll bring to parliament a motion or a proposal to repeal a particular law. And it has been done several times. I mean, we know. Acts and laws are repealed all the time.
Okay, many who we crown. And then Minister can for Tabu Akuntebi. Say Anya be and day 11 my or mine 1 million Ghana cedis. It's a woo akunta. Nature say Busumi be betting me 30 or 31 million Ghana cedis. Would you mean funny 30 cra times 12? Nature say yenam bed yo 360 million or 365 million Ghana cedis annually. Eba sana se bia mu repealing na se bia mu batizo se mu yende o eno no in place of that no as a party, one didn't would your motive send a name.
Kwame, when I say, sir, he debate as a party, as a caucus, we have made presentations, we have demonstrated that there are alternative ways of even raising more than the estimated 6 billion. For example, we have made references to
6 billion. Na ye annually anase be every 3 years anase annually 6 billion.
And I said, omode bill no omode kade baye no. Omamu projections was that it was supposed to bring to the public purse and answer the coffers of state 6.9 billion.
A year.
This estimate is based on if it had passed at the time that it was proposed. And and we are also seeing that although they purport to have passed it and it has now become law, clearly no, Ghanaians are still not comfortable because they know for a fact there are alternative ways of raising more money. And I was just making an allusion to the example of the tax waivers. Every year, Ghana, we lose in excess of 5 billion through tax waivers. Tax waivers in Kwao.
Wow.
So company be free man on it. One Babylon did do a Ghana. One Betty Hotel in Puru. Now I'm on tax waivers. No man correct me after our Ghana. Now Empo, yes, we are for the NDC. I shall move to no. Now I'm on tax waivers. Say one from Ghana free. Over 5 billion. And I can tell you most of it is going to family, friends, and cronies. We have also talked about the revenue leakages at the ports. Well, when we were in power, I was the spokesperson for the Revenue Mobilization Task Force. So I know what was going on, and I know what is going on. Since we left power, this government has not made an effort to chase those who are defrauding the state through the bonded warehouse system, where they will bring goods, and the goods will be in the bonded warehouses. Some make your tour, some more koi. So no money, some unscrupulous public officials, they will go and take the goods and sell them without paying the needed duty. We also have what we call re-exportation fraud. Sell goods, Baba, sell Burkina, Mali, Niger. Our landlocked brothers in the ECOWAS sub-region, until they get some tax waivers, no more Canada, tell Omode Burkina, no more in Ghana, no more Tongue. Then we have what we call misclassification. We want to be the flat screen TVs back. Then they'll misclassify them as used clothing. All of these things we know.
Okay.
But there is no serious effort at addressing them. Since NDC left power, when was the last time you heard that companies that had evaded tax are being chased down and money is collected? You tell me the last time you heard that. It is not happening.
Okay.
So you see, when you have all of these options, and I'm not even going to talk about spending 21 billion to so-called fix a banking sector that required about 9 billion to fix. I mean, the issues are many, the leakages are many, the lack of financial prudence is unconscionable.
Okay.
And you are pushing e-levy down the throats of Ghanaians. And so when somebody says, if I come, I will repeal it. And then a man of God says, you won't even will let alone to come and cancel it, suggesting that that person is not nationalistic. I mean, who gives him that right?
I say, Honorable Dr. Clement Park, MP for Busa South, Deputy Ranking Member, Education Committee of Parliament, and the NNY Common, okay, 101.7.
OKFM 101.7.